Hello YouTube, Grand Captain Speedy Dash here. In the last part, Kakarot and Chi-Chi bonded over Master Roshi's training, with Kakarot being able to win the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai this time, which does make him a little arrogant. Will the second search for the Dragon Balls worsen or improve this new arrogance? Find out now. Kakarot, knowing that it's a full moon tonight, decides to wait before setting off, just until sunrise. Another change happens after Colonel Silver blows up the Kinto-un with a rocket, where Kakarot gives Colonel Silver one chance to surrender and apologize, before landing a fatal counterattack on Silver, which Kakarot does to avenge Kinto-un, not yet realizing Kinto-un is fine. Because of Kakarot's sand memories, he isn't as hesitant to kill when he thinks they deserve it, though Gohan's teaching has hampered his killing instinct at least enough to allow people a chance for mercy. Thinking Kinto-un is dead, he still raids Silver's house, finding the robot and the plane, before heading to Muscle Tower, which this plane ride goes about the same as canon. Kakarot is still rescued by Suno, but this time his motivation for storming Muscle Tower is a little bit more selfish. He is going firstly looking for a good fight, secondly to find the Dragon Ball, and thirdly, to return the favor for Suno rescuing him. Kakarot's assault on Muscle Tower goes similar to canon, with him still saving Android 8 and nicknaming him Aider as he thinks it sounds better than Android 8. But the change happens when General White tries to hold the mayor hostage, with Kakarot using Ultra Instinct Sign to steal the gun before White has a chance to fire. Kakarot, now believing General White is not a man he should give mercy to, delivers a fatal blow, killing White. This does unsettle Aider and the Chief, how Kakarot just murdered White, but considering he saved both of them, and how bad the Red Ribbon Army is, they don't dwell on it. After learning that Kinto-un isn't dead, he is overjoyed and heads off for West City to fix the radar, which still got broken. For this story, I am going to be more lax of what Kinto-un actually requires, though still most characters aren't going to be able to ride it. Since in this story Kakarot has already been to Capsule Corp, he is able to easily find his way there now. Dr. Briefs offers Kakarot a meal to help him wait for Bulma, and after eating his fill, patiently waits for Bulma, who arrives earlier than they expected since she got bored in kite class. After fixing the radar, Bulma still convinces Kakarot to allow her to go with him, which they eventually pick up Krillin and come face to face with General Blue. This time, however, after the mouse stops Blue's power over Kakarot, he takes this opportunity to kill Blue. Kakarot still does save the mouse, but because of Blue's death, this means Kakarot won't meet Ariel. Both Bulma and Krillin ditch Kakarot's adventure, citing the danger. But now it's time for Kakarot to head to the sacred land of Korin. Though the timing is a bit off, I'm just gonna fudge it and say that Kakarot arrives at the same time that Captain Yellow is holding Appa hostage, which goes about the same as canon. After returning Appa to Bora, Kakarot gets the 4-star Dragon Ball from Bora, and begins explaining what the Dragon Balls actually are. As Kakarot finishes explaining, Tao Pai Pai arrives. Bora insists on fighting Tao to repay Kakarot for saving Upa, which Kakarot ultimately yields to, which was a bad idea, resulting in Bora's death. Kakarot begins his fight with Tao, which is rather even, until Kakarot uses a Kamehameha, but he holds back to limit the damage to the sacred land of Korin, though this is a mistake, which Tao takes advantage of using a Dodon Ray from the dust cloud on a Kakarot who has dropped his guard, hitting the Dragon Ball in his shirt, knocking him out. When Kakarot wakes, he takes Upa's advice about training with Korin, which does go a bit quicker than canon since he is stronger than he was when he started this training, and returns down to Upa after finishing. Kakarot explains his plan to Upa to use the Dragon Balls to revive Bora as well as all other good people who have died because of the Red Ribbon Army. As Kakarot finishes telling Upa, Tao arrives looking for the Dragon Ball he missed, while also being surprised that Kakarot is still alive. The second fight between Kakarot and Tao is very close to the canon one, though Kakarot is a little conflicted when Tao asks for mercy, but it ends the same with the grenade seemingly killing Tao. Kakarot then launches a much more merciless attack on the Red Ribbon headquarters without holding back at all, because he believes any request for mercy from the Red Ribbon Army will be an act, just like it was with Tao and White. A certain scientist still does survive, which will cause trouble later on, though this display makes his desire for revenge seem a bit more just. After meeting up with Bulma and the others, they head back to Kami House for her to try and fix the radar so they can locate the 7th Dragon Ball, but to no avail, though Master Roshi does suggest they see fortune teller Baba, who should be able to help. The trip to Baba's palace is the same as canon, but with 2 exceptions. In the fight with Devilman, when Devilman uses the Evil Beam, Kakarot uses Ultra Instinct Sign to not only dodge it, but also knock out Devilman before anyone realizes Kakarot moved. And then, the final champion is a female warrior with a tail that has a fox mask on. Kakarot struggles against this warrior. Though he has the edge in technique, there is a huge gap in ability. He can tell she isn't going all out, which normally would irritate him, but something about her is almost soothing to him. As the fight continues, he eventually lands a blow that knocks the mask off, which causes him to tear up considerably before jumping forward yelling, "Mom," going in for a hug. Kakarot comments on how strong she is, but Guinea modestly replies, "I'm a weakling where I come from. I see so much of Bardock in you. Maybe one day you might even surpass how strong he was." Upa does suggest about bringing Guinea back with the Dragon Balls, but Guinea says that Kakarot has been living fine without her, but Upa still needs his dad. Just before Guinea returns to the other world, she tells Kakarot that she is proud of his strength and kindness. Fortune teller Baba holds up her end of the bargain and reveals the location of the last Dragon Ball, which as soon as Kakarot finds the Pilaf gang, they very quickly give him the Dragon Ball, begging for him not to hurt them, since they saw on the satellite what he did to the Red Ribbon Army. After getting the 7th Dragon Ball, Kakarot picks up Upa and the remaining Dragon Balls, then heads to the sacred land of Korin, where he makes the wish to revive all the good people who died because of the Red Ribbon Army. As the Dragon Balls scatter, Kakarot still is able to grab the 4-star Dragon Ball, making it so he won't have to go on the hunt again in a year. Once he reunites with Bulma and the others, Master Roshi tells Kakarot that if he wants more strength, he should roam the earth without Kinto-un till it's time for the next Tenkaichi Budokai. Though he doesn't follow it to a T, as he still visits Gohan and Chi-Chi from time to time, but does still spend most of the time roaming the world alone. This is where I'll end the part for now. So, what do you guys think of the story so far? How will this encounter with Gine affect him? As well as the knowledge that he's not as strong as his mother and father were before they died. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel, as those will help motivate me to continue making the what ifs. As always, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are.